Chris Melling is in the house. Excited to see how he goes tonight. One of the greats of all time, with a very, very iffy start. Wasn't his greatest break this. Tracking towards the top corner pocket isn't quite what he's after. So a slight miss hit, but he's still a little bit across it.
Yeah, he is a little bit unlucky, but you could see him come right across that at the end there. And it's exactly what Carl Morris wanted to see. He knows that he's up against one of the best here, and if it goes down to an even number of chances, you feel like it's going to be a Chris Melling victory. But matches of this length don't come down to an even number of chances that often, and this is exactly where Carl wanted to be. Cue ball in hand, and a very acceptable opening chance. Not a very good opening shot, though. If he was trying to play on this yellow, then he would have wanted to be a little bit closer to it. Cues it in okay though, so he's back in good position. He may have been playing on it. I don't know. There's much advantage leaving the yellow over the top right. Would have expected him to want to get rid of both of those two. I know. You're playing down your local, you're thinking that yellow stops 3 reds from going, but that's not the way players at the top level think, because if Carl misses at any point, that yellow won't prove that much of a problem for Chris Melling. And it becomes I wouldn't say a problem ball, but he has to get on it, and you see pick a gap, and then he needs to pick another gap to get back down the table. Even though he's got a yellow over both corner pockets, it's not guaranteed. He should, of course, land, but not guaranteed.
That's pretty nice.
Could have gone wrong. He's very, very close to being behind the yellow at the bottom here. I'm really surprised he actually tried to get down the table. In all honesty, I thought he was just going to try and pick a gap from distance and guarantee it.
He's left himself awkwardly queuing here over the red.
Yeah, and if he drops it in, he's worried he's going to go too far, and the red's going to get in the way of the 8-ball here. He's got more room than you think, though.
He had to play that with a lot of side. He's judged that really well.
A couple of shots I've been surprised with the way he's played it. That's another one. He threaded the needle nicely, though.
Well, you could see that on. Get the benefit of the. Oh, Carl. Oh, wow. All that hard work. And that's a shocker. Houdini has made this frame disappear.
Yeah, that's such a jarring miss. It could have huge implications into the rest of this match. I know that sounds stupid because we're 1 frame into a 2-set match, but that is jarring. That really is. And Carl Morris, he'll be the first to admit he doesn't cue the ball as well as he used to, and as well as some of the best players in the game, Chris Melling in particular. But he backs his knowledge and ways around the table. But to miss Q1 as badly as that is a tough one for him to take early in this match. That was a poor shot from Chris, though. He's actually given some thought to playing safe here. He is going to play safe here. Wow. It's an excellent shot. I thought he would just cue that one into right centre, but that is showing huge respect to Carl Morris. And also, I think if we're three frames into this match, he takes it into the right centre and he mops up no problem. But kind of maybe a shot of the first frame.
I think, yeah, it just shows that Chris is treating it right, I suppose. He's played the right shot there.
Well, the problem is, if Carl gets out of this, he's got a tougher pot to play. He's not going to get out of it. Because if he, let's say he hits the 8 ball pretty full, leaves the cue ball down the table, then he's got, unless he can see the one nearest the top right-hand corner, he's going to have to cue one in anyway. So you can make the case both ways there, but his reward is obviously there for all to see. He's, you know, cue ball in hand and a simple clean-up job now.
Chris Melling, who is 100% so far in this year's Champions League. 6 matches, 6 wins. He was the only one here tonight who could say that. The best at stuff that everyone does. Whereas Chris Melling genuinely has elements to his game that no one else would even think of, let alone achieve.
I completely agree. I really do. He can do things that other players and even top players just can't do. Tough one here for Carl because he's flushed that. He really needed a good chance after what he's just done in the previous frame, and he flushes the break and gets no reward for it whatsoever.
Yellow ball's in play.
There are times when Chris finds this game so easy that he almost can look like he's getting a little casual out there, but I think the signs from the opening frame, obviously, that he is fully invested in this. Obviously it's a major final, or semi-final as it is here, but a finals night. There's no way he was going to come in and kind of take it lightly, but just sometimes he just gets himself into such a confident mood that he just believes it's the easiest game in the world to him.
Delightful to watch in that sort of form and mood.
Loaded that one up with left-hand side, just trying to hold it when it hits the cushion so he doesn't finish low on it. Just so means he doesn't have to play around with that red on the top cushion. A subtle touch, but job done.
Just the worst possible start for him.
That's a little bit more like it, Chris. And look at this for another opportunity. I say look at this for another opportunity. Maybe the 2 yellows at the bottom of the table aren't good here, and I don't think he's got a decent opening red. Doesn't have a great opening yellow other than the one bang in the middle of the table. So a little bit more thought required here than I first thought. He may just have to back himself to make the red he's nearest to bottom right, and then reds are good.
Extension call.
It's just when you make a break as good as the one that Chris just has, you expect something a little bit better than this. You see, give him all the attention in the world here. Oh, plays it off the red.
Which
made the pot maybe a touch more controllable in terms of the cue ball, but has pushed that red into a slightly more awkward position. Did not want it to come and sit itself with that yellow. See, he's going to try and attack it straight away here. Full ball on the yellow would be perfect. Full ball on the yellow he gets. Yellow's still sort of blocking him a little bit. He's on the red to bottom right now, which is why he's taking it. thought he was going to go for the one down to bottom left, but this is a much better way round. Two at the bottom looked awkward, but getting rid of those two straight away.
One thing that's very enjoyable to watch about Chris Melling is just how quickly he plays in full flow. He's nowhere near full flow just yet. He's picking it up.
The reason he can play so quick is that he sees the game so well. So he can be 2-3 shots into a visit, and he does give shots and visits attention, but once he gets himself in line and he knows how he's clearing it up, he does not hang about. That is how you punish a mistake, though. Obviously, an absolute gift, Carl Morris in the opening frame, but obviously two visits to the table with a good snooker in the middle to punish the initial error, then reverse clearance, break clearance, just to really make Carl sit in that chair and think about it. And a dry break is not that.
Yeah. Plenty watching this will have experienced that same disappointment and made the exact same noise and pulled the same facial expression.
Extension called.
Now, he's got a red on to right centre, but he wants to be yellows. That's why he's looking at the yellow he's nearest to. Can he make it off the top cushion, off the red? The problem with reds is the red at the bottom cushion. He's going to take the reds on.
Red ball's in play.
Is he playing match play here? Take the red to bottom left, loss a turn, leave the cue ball bottom cushion. You've got no yellow on, and all the reds go. Certainly a way to do it, although Chris normally likes to clear up whenever he gets a chance at the table. See what mood he's in here. Yeah, tried to develop it. I have a feeling if it was 0-0, he plays the shot I talked about. Cue ball to bottom cushion and loss a turn.
Tough shot coming up next. I'm not sure there's a huge amount on for Chris. I think he can just get through full ball to the red, just below the break line on the right side. What he can do with it, though, is a different matter. So much so. Is it a two-cushion kick shot? It was. Not left a huge amount, but Carl has to go. And we'll get started with this yellow in the middle of the table.
Chris played.
15-second shot clock.
It's going from bad to worse for Houdini.
I was just about to make the case that was a clever shot from Chris, but he didn't quite get the cue ball hidden, and he'd left a really good chance. I mean, that really was a brilliant chance to get the frame on the board for Carl. It was a fairly regulation pot in the centre, and every yellow goes comfortably. He's still scrambled.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's tough, isn't it? Because you can fully appreciate why that would be. It was such a terrible miss. You just can't miss those, and ultimately, that will potentially be the defining point in this first set. How's he queuing?
One more turn. Yeah, that's okay for Chris.
He's actually about perfect. He's as thin as possible on this red, which means he can go into the red and yellow at the bottom of the table.
He might have just come up half a turn short, has he? No, he was on it, but not nice. Okay, this is a big visit. I know there's only 340 in the set, and Carl may not get back into the set, but he just needs something positive. Time to put together a finish, go into set 2 with positivity.
Talking a lot, Carl, about his mindset this season. It's changed, and it's been really helpful for him. He is, it's worth pointing out, capable of doing very, very silly things. No one has done buzzer beaters quite like Carl Morris. And, you know, he's rattling through these. There's 3 minutes left. 2 frames behind. You just never know.
What's a thick one there?
Trying to snatch every second possible from our timer there. And a bit of a giggle with the crowd as well.
Cue ball sort of arcs close to the right centre pocket. It's not far away from the sort of break that Chris is looking for, though. He does get the top spin break. You see, not many players in the game do that with their break. Chris is a touch higher on the cue ball than most, and he'll be happy with the layout. Reds look the easier finish, but the first shot slightly tricky. Too tricky, which makes it surprising to me that he is going yellows. Yellows aren't too tricky either. Just the one below the break line that doesn't go top left, but does go to a few other pockets with short position. Well, he was pointing as though we can get to the left-hand side and straight in right centre, which would be perfect. Which he could. It looked from the camera angle that we had that he might have just had a touch too much angle on it, but no, he was perfect. And in his own mind, he feels like he's won the match, or won the set now. Absolutely ideal from here.
Yeah, Carl's hopes have fizzled out. But he's got a frame on the board, and his thoughts will now, I'm sure, start to track on over to set 2. Such a huge error to begin this set, and there simply can't be any more, because Chris Melling is 1-0 in front after the potting of this 8-ball. And the only way Carl Morris can qualify is via a 6-red shootout. Chris Melling is short on this 8-ball, so he's using the clock just in case. Chris Melling doesn't miss those, does he? Never in doubt. The Magician is 1-0 up. He is 1 set down to Chris Melling, and he must win this set and then the subsequent 6-red shootout to book a spot in the Champions League final. That is a weird break, and yeah, you can understand the consternation on Carl's face. Doesn't get into these really off the cut break, but in a weird way, he's made quite a lot of balls, and that actually hasn't helped his first shot. His options are pretty limited here. He might just go flying.
Possibly. Might not be the worst case for him, though, is to try and, if they don't open up, kind of out-match play Chris. Something he's very, very good at. Obviously, he changed the cut break because his 2 front ball breaks in the first set were very, very good in terms of quality. They were not good in terms of outcome because he was dry. Touch straight, just enough angle. That's why he was kind of pulling the face. He would love an extra turn, just so he didn't have to force it so much, but it's come out okay. But if he had that touch more angle, he might have been able to open up everything in that shot. Still has the 8-ball, and even the yellow that's left in there isn't absolutely ideal, because you've got to work your way back round to it. That 8-ball's tricky. It is tricky. I mean, the yellows you can connect together, but when are you playing the developing shot on the 8-ball? Trying to leave that one short. He could have just dropped that in and taken that yellow into the centre, but he wanted to leave that short. He wanted to try and play a breakout there. There wasn't much room actually to land as he was trying to play a breakout. And doing it off that ball, every chance you're not going to be on anything, which is exactly what's happened.
Cool. Not a bad effort.
Helps a little bit.
Touch of fortune there, sort of half the raise of the hand as well. He knew it. Just popped the red to tie up the red, 2 reds together with the 8 ball, but Chris won't care. He's at the table in control of the frame, even if he doesn't have a absolutely wide open counter clearance here. Those two are tricky though. Left lots of angle on purpose by the looks of things. Track down. A gentle kiss into the 8 ball would be perfect. Leave him on a choice of 2 and pop the other one open as well. Just feathered the red. There was about half a ball too far to the left-hand side coming down the table as we were looking. Oh, he's okay. He can get through to the. I wasn't sure he could. Yeah, just get through and get to the left-hand side to pop them into the right-hand middle. So actually worked out okay for him.
Could have gone much worse.
Lovely.
Writing might well be on the wall for Carl Morris.
A long way to go. Here you go. Oh, he's going to... Oh!
Thought that was a golden duck. I think so did Chris.
I thought it was a nailed-on golden duck when he got the contact. Kubel obviously straight in there. Watch this 8 ball. Bang.
He knew for sure.
Oh, so did Carl. He'd have taken it. He'd have taken it, although it's actually come out interestingly here because the yellows are really not too bad. You get short position on the first one, and then you're away. 8 ball's the problem.
Yellow ball's in play.
What does he do? Leave the 8 ball where it is, play the double. Not the easiest to break out. The 2 reds below it make it awkward. Don't think the red is sort of level with the 8 balls in the way for the double at all. I think that's fine. So if he does want to go for the double, it's not terrible. Okay, so he's played low. I think he is trying to move it then. Low on purpose. Not much room to hit the 8 ball. Is he going into the red and red moving the 8 ball? I think he's missing the red.
He's looking.
That's the
He was
problem.
looking to hit that gap, I'm sure he was.
Yeah, it was one of those. You either want to hit the red full ball or you wanted to miss it, and the natural was just clipping it.
That was a really, really tough shot to find, you got to say.
Yeah. And the problem was the pace he had to play it at, he was making it throw wider. If he rolls that in, he probably gets the red a lot fuller. But you're not doing any good there with that. So a little awkward. That was a good shot considering. Well, not a good shot then, because he's not on the yellow. And you consider the 8 ball he missed, he's just potted that into quarter of pocket. The cue ball needed half a turn to leave the thin angle when you play the breakout at the same time.
Just a very, very tough shot, and that yellow has not covered the red to the bottom left either. I think Chris can fly here.
That was nice from Chris. Didn't overplay the shot, but also absolutely wanted to get the cushion before the 8 ball, so that the 8 ball pops into play, and he knew he was going to stay on this one to bottom right.
First look there at what appeared, at least to me, concern on the face of Carl Morris.
Yeah, you can't say he hasn't had opportunities here. That's the problem, he just hasn't quite found the form of the last couple of groups for him to make it through to this stage. I know that was awkward, that 8 ball, but sort of layout that he was getting in previous rounds, and you can't help but keep looking back at the opening frame of this match. Missed 8 ball was, well, just a huge moment.
Just wonder if that may well be the dagger. It was one of the players to take him over, not too far off when Chris won his first world title. These two have been going at each other for a long, long time with a pretty big gap in the middle. And in that gap, Chris has continued to play the sport to a very, very high level, and Carl really put it down. And I think that's what really shows in the gap in the rankings. Say gap in the level feels harsh, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, and there is a gap in the level. Let's be honest. Chris has remained at the top of the game. They've both taken a big gap, a big break from this version of the game, actually, from that sort of golden generation, if you like. You know, Chris has gone on to American pool and professional snooker and Chinese pool in the last few years as well. But he is back, and since coming back, we talked about him winning the very first Ultimate Pool event, which was the Champions League. What was that, 4 years ago? But he's continued to win. He's been at the top every single year. He's looking to extend his record of being the only player to have won every season with Ultimate Pool. He's the only player that's done that for the first 3, and he's looking to do it for 4 here. Whereas Carl, he had a great first season back, finishing, what was he, 6th in the rankings, and got to a final, but not seen too much of him since. It's been a great run to see him back into a finals night. Feels a long way back to get into this night. May not play another shot in this match.
That will be the expectation.
Yeah, not a guaranteed out though from here for Chris. He's got to work hard. I think he was looking for straight in. If he gets straight in, I think the yellow does sneak in past the red to right centre. So if he'd finished straight in to bottom left, they all would have connected together. But he's not quite there. Yeah, he's having to look for another option. This is a small gap he is looking for. Yeah, I can't make your mind up. Yeah. I think it's one of those situations that he felt the gap was there, but the minute he got down on the shot, you could see him loading up with right-hand side. I think he felt that the gap wasn't quite there, the line wasn't quite right, so he changes his mind last minute. It's tight, this one. Just flick the red first. You could stick this on the jaw and it not drop. Yeah, one of those where you're more likely to make it off the jaw even if it feathers the red after hitting the jaw. See Chris just using the pocket well. He's got this one the other way around, although there's a little bit more room. The 8-ball makes it a massive pocket for him.
Chris Melling goes on the hill. And the writing may well be on the wall for Carl Morris. Chris has made a career out of making the brilliant look very ordinary.
15-second shot clock in play.
Just heard there the 15-second shot clock tick into play.
Extension call.
Simple task for Carl, win 4 frames in 5 minutes. The problem is, Chris Melling's at the table and he may not ever get back to it because the chance is there.
First shot's the key to this frame.
Red ball's in play.
I'd say now that's moved to the second shot. That's landed in a perfect position for a double. He's on this red to bottom right. No, he's not. He's going away from it. So that makes the case that he might have to play a cannon off it, but well, had to turn that one as well. So even Chris Melling a little bit rushed. One of, if not the quickest player in the game, and he was rushed on that one.
He is human, etc., etc., etc.
He's left a bad angle here. Rushing himself as Carl, you'd always want to leave this yellow as your last ball. That was clever though, I like that. Bump the 8-ball up. Make this one that was a terrible last ball into the perfect last ball. Clever.
Frank.
Well, he's not done just yet.
Pleased to see him go back to that break. He hit it well in the first set.
He did. He hit it fabulously well. Sometimes it's just about outcome more than it is what you've actually really done to control it.
This is perfect for a quick finish as well. Landing plumb on the plant. This is perfect for that quick finish. Straight's not great. Has he got any angle at all? No. He needed to make sure he had a touch of angle. Now he might have to play yellow off yellow, and balls are moving, and this is tough. Really good. Just feathered off it.
He's actually played his best pool when he's been forced to play at about 5 seconds a shot, Carl Morris. But he's not done yet. He is not done yet. Cool. It's a great 8-ball. Where was that earlier on tonight?
8-ball. Ooh. Nothing else
dry, is
though.
it? It's not dry, surely.
Nice up.
And they're there. And these are there. It's awkward, but the yellows, for me, go, yeah, that's your... You got the connection to that. It's just whether that's a good last ball or not for me. Probably has to be last ball.
Yellow ball's in play.
Probably okay as long as he's not just off straight the wrong way.
Awkward balance to find here for Carl Morris because he wants to do this as quickly as possible, but also wants to make sure if you do it too quick, you lose your chance to win 2 frames.
He's annoyed because he didn't land on the yellow to top right, but I actually liked coming down the table here whilst you've got the one over top left-hand corner pocket. Problem is he's got that just off angle that I said he didn't want when he was on this one. This can go wrong.
Yeah, and it did. And the roar of frustration comes from Carl Morris. Chris Melling won't miss from here. And he's one of the few who'd actually give it back to Carl as well.
Well, yeah, there's history in that in terms of, you know, Carl is known for fun and games around the table, and Chris has been at the thick end of that for a lot of his career early on, so having some fun with him. Don't blame him at all. He knows he's won.
Chris Melling is home and hosed. He is through to the final of the Champions League as Carl Morris concedes. The 2 old friends shake hands, and Chris Melling has got himself another Ultimate Pool final. He will take on Declan Brennan for the grand prize when we return.